What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Underwater movie out in theaters, like a horror thriller type of movie, taking place under the water. Underwater. There's like these researchers in like this big lab where there's like, things going on, bunch of research going on underwater. And all of a sudden there's an earthquake. And that's kind of where the movie starts, right? It's a nonstop movie. It's one of those movies where like shit gets popping off right away. Kind of introduced to characters along the way, starting off with Kristen Stewart, um, which I thought she was great. Kind of the lead action role, kind of like she kind of plays like a Ripley from Aliens in a lot of ways. It's kind of this badass chick with a shaved head. But yeah, there's earthquake happens and she's trying to get out, and like, people die because doors have to be closed, and black dudes are in this for a minute, but black dudes die in a lot of these types of movies still in 2020. But yeah, pretty is for the most part, I like this movie. It wasn't great. The under once they have to, so they have to like get from the main lab, which it's amazing how large this lab is, and only like 5 people survive. But they have to get from there to this other place that's got this stuff that they need. But they have to. The only way to get there is to like put on the suits and walk on the bottom of the ocean floor to the other place. And so that's where a lot of this takes place. I mean, they're trying to get out of the lab, which, there's rubble and all that kind of stuff. There's the guy from Silicon Valley's in this movie. And it's just kind of like TJ Miller. And once they get to the water, it's just like, I mean, it's well done. It looks like they're underwater and all that stuff, but it's just hard to see. It's hard to see. It's like next level kind of annoying CG action stuff. There's a lot of the times you watch action movies and they have a ton of CG and it's dark outside, so you don't really see the stuff. It just makes it easier to like get away with doing bad work, bad CG work. But this one takes it to the new level because you're underwater, so it's like it's got like this. It's not like super high contrast, so there's not really, everything's kind of washed out, and you have like all this stuff, kind of haziness floating in the water. It's just like visually kind of confusing, a lot of the action scenes, which in itself adds to the suspense and the drama of the thing because you can't really see what's going on. It definitely has that kind of feeling where, you hear something, although they're underwater. So it's like, I don't know. It was okay. It wasn't super scary. Once you see these monsters, it's like, okay. Like the monsters look like humans, which is just stupid. Like, if you're gonna have an underwater monster, like at least have this thing look like something that would live in the water. Like, things that look like us don't live in the water, right? Unless I guess it's like evil mermaids. That's what this underwater is, the evil mermaid story. It's the story, the untold story of what's her face, the Little Mermaid. Um and how evil actual mermaids are, trying to eliminate science exploration under the water. But then there's like this giant monster also that's kind of interesting. It's like a cross between like an octopus or like the Kraken or whatever. But scale wise, it was interesting because it was so large. So some of that stuff was whatever. I don't know. There's a scene also just to kind of that kind of expresses the where the head was at of the people making this movie. There's a scene where Kristen Stewart gets to, I don't think it's the actual end spot. Oh, I think the other place had like escape pods is what they're trying to get to. They need escape pod. Like they're in suits that can withstand the pressure of being on the floor of the ocean, but they need suits to go up. I mean, I'm kind of stupid, but maybe they don't have enough air to get all the way. I don't know they didn't really explain it, but that's what the whole thing is. But there's a scene where she gets out of the water into like this other thing, this other kind of place where she can take her suit off and kind of collect new supplies. And like the first thing she does is take a shower. Like, what you're just out in the water. Now you're inside, like you took your suit off and now you're going to take a shower. I don't know. It just like, it was a weird scene. Like, why is she taking a shower? And she's not naked in the shower, which would have, at least some male gaziness, give me some nipples to look at. I don't know. At least that would be kind of a reason to take a shower, but there's no reason she needs to be taking a shower, right? That's not the time to take a break when people are dying. And like, I guess she's trying to decide whether, she should even keep going. It's one of those kinds of movies. It's one of those kind of like I've heard it mildly compared to Gravity, but Gravity is just, far superior, far superior. But yeah, if you're looking for, it's not horrible. It's not a horrible movie. I can't, to the life of me, remember how it ends. Oh yeah, I do. Some people live. Some people sacrifice themselves. That's what it is. But it's a fun movie. It's not horrible. It's just the monsters were kind of shitty. The action scenes underwater were kind of confusing and hard to see. Like, I was so confused just trying to figure out what's going on. You don't really get to know these characters too well, so you're never really that invested in them. But other than that, it's mildly entertaining if you're looking for it gets you amped up a little bit. I wouldn't say I don't think this is an edible movie. It just doesn't, like, a movie that I would recommend eating an edible would be one, if you saw it sober, you would be extremely stressed out. Like Uncut Gems, pretty stressful movie. Captain Phillips, pretty stressful movie. So when you add the edible experience on top of that, that's when you're going to that next level. An edible would definitely help out, but I think the confusing parts of this would just be amplified with confusion, just not knowing what is going on so much of this movie. But not horrible, and I wouldn't mind seeing Kristen Stewart in something else, as like the kind of Ripley, if they wanted to reboot. That's all they do nowadays is reboot or remake, or give us another sequel in the cinematic universe of Aliens. I could see her taking over the Ripley character, kind of badass chick role. But yeah, this movie was just okay. But this time of year, there's not a lot of good stuff coming out. Not a lot of good stuff. Sometimes they'll drop something fun in February. But man, it is slim pickings right now in theaters. But yeah, Underwater, see it if you want. I'm sure it'll be, as far as like a movie that would be kind of similar as tone wise, but better, I would say Crawl. When you're running away from alligators and stuff like that from underneath a house, like there's a lot more tension and just a lot more interesting things visually to see, but still kind of that amped up, stress factor is a little bit more. But yeah, Underwater, go see it if you want. It's not horrible. Not horrible. Better than Bad Boys 3, I would say. Kind of. I don't know. They're both not that good. But that's it. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!